Oh, welcome back to the Spinning Backfist show. We are here with Brendan Allen, and it's me, Jack Mack, and Big Ev. And before Brendan Allen's big fight this weekend at UFC Paris, thanks for joining us. How are you liking Paris, France as a whole? How long have you been out there? I see you got the PSG kit on now.
Yeah, man, gift from a friend of mine. I've only been here for I don't even know what time it is. Probably like 5 hours.
Okay.
But it's only been doing stuff for UFC, so I haven't been out too much. But I'm an American guy. I just like to be in America, so I'm ready. I'm ready to get back to America and get back to the woods and be in my own seclusion.
100%. I feel that.
Brendan, honestly, I don't know if you recognize me. We had a little, I wouldn't say a back and forth on Twitter. I made some comments in the podcast that got clipped about you originally not saying on Era Hawani show you don't want the fight. You took some shots at me. I don't mind it. I responded to on Era Hawani show you saying you didn't want to take the fight if it wasn't a main event. Uh, I was yapping on the podcast, so I wanted to clear the air. No personal on my end. I don't mind the shots that you took, but I'm glad you took the fight. So
I
on
took the fight. I took the fight before any of that was posted.
real okay. I was gonna say that because it was like a very short time in between.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was our the fight was already signed before that. That was just fucking around, but it wasn't on Area Hawani either. I don't like Area Hawani, so
I apologize. I was a
it's
show
all
I
right.
watched. You had said it, yeah. But I wanted to clear the air on that. That
It's
it
all
was
right.
all good on my end.
It's all good, man. You're not the first person to talk something to me or about me. It's you ain't gonna be the last. I promise you.
Because
What's
I
the
did want to say I don't know if this part of it was clipped. My point of it was basically that you're on this great run, and that I thought like I said at the time I'm hearing that you're saying you're not going to take it. So I'm like, this is an incredible opportunity. Two top guys that are both on great runs. That my I don't like I said I don't know if this part got made it in the clip that I what I said was that if you get a big finish, you have one of two things coming for you after that. You either getting the title shot or you're like absolute worst case scenario number one contender fight. Is that how you see it as well?
That's how hopefully it'll be. Hopefully it'll be just straight to the title shot if I finish it. If I beat him, if I finish him, I think it's even more of a statement, especially here in his hometown with his home people, with probably his judges and everything else his way. Yeah, he didn't want to fight five. I wanted to fight five, but either way, all the cards are in his favor, and my job's to go play spoiler, and I think I'm gonna do just that. So, um, man, to be honest, I don't really care for what he thinks, what I think, what anyone else thinks. I'm just super focused on the objectives for myself that I've put in place. Um, Hitting all the marks that me and my team have discussed in the lead up, and being the best me that I can be. If I'm the best me I can be, good weight cut, good everything else. The camp was great. I feel great. So finish the weight cut and perform to the best of my abilities, and I think that's the best, the highest chances for me to do what I need to do.
what's the beef with Ariel Hawani?
I just don't like him.
Was it always that way before you even came up in the UFC, or is it just
Yeah.
recent? Got it. Got it. Got it.
No, I just don't like how he acts like he's holier than everyone and bigger than everyone. Like he made MMA. Like I don't know. I just don't like it. But to each their own, I guess, man. I guess he's getting paid, so good for him. But
Yep.
whatever.
So you were speaking on the weight cut and whatnot. Obviously, you just got to Paris. When you have a long distance to travel, do you like to plan it out in a certain way with the weight cutting and whatnot, or is it usually just smooth sailing?
They're not fun. But I was in London for a week before this. Similar temperature, similar climate, 1 hour time difference, a similar time. So I've been there for a week and acclimated, and so I feel good already. I, I guess to answer your question, I try to just wherever I'm gonna fight, I always go out early. Depending on where it's at, just tells me how early I'm gonna go. But usually, week and a half, 2 weeks feels pretty good because I also like to finish I don't want to leave until my last sparring is done, and I do that the early in the week before, early in that week. So, usually Tuesday's my last sparring week before, and then from there I'll travel where I'm gonna travel.
So you spoke about obviously no secret you're going to Paris. Obviously, you're fighting the guy from France. Are you someone who embraces the villain role? Like, is that somebody you're like excited about, or do you not really care about that?
Yeah, I don't care. I've been doing this for long enough to know people are always gonna talk shit. People are always gonna say they love you until they don't. Um, yeah. I don't care. I'm just gonna go out there and be me. I'm not gonna let anything else change how I'm gonna approach the fight. Whether it be saying no matter what, if we go to a decision, he's gonna win. Um, we're in his hometown. None of that's gonna affect me. I'm gonna go out there and be the best. Try to be the best me that I can be. Hopefully, I am. And however the cards fall or how they fall, and I've accepted that every single time.
Did Dana end up giving you a $50,000 bonus for the fight of the night at the PFL event, or no?
Wasn't me, bro. I wasn't even there.
Oh, you weren't there. Actually, that's
Allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly
that's
it
just a
wasn't
lookalike,
you.
bro. I was with Gerald Mearshart that night.
Yeah, in Vegas, he said, yeah, GM3 said you guys were chilling at home in a completely
Hmm.
different side of the country.
No. He lives in Florida.
Oh, he
We
lives
was
in
in,
Florida. Oh,
yeah,
I thought
yeah. He lives in Boynton Beach.
okay, so you were chilling there. Did you see the video of what happened to the guy that looked like you? Was there anything? It was shocking. We Ev and I were there. We missed it by a minute, and Danny Sabatello's friends came up to us and told us that a guy who looks like you
Yeah.
got into a fight with Vittori, and they gave us false information on how the fight went down. It was maybe they were in Vittori's camp.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I saw the same video as y'all seen.
Yeah,
We
I pro- I probably heard things that y'all heard, but I mean, I don't know that American top team camp get, changes things up, I guess.
it
yeah.
was it was strange because we come out of the event. There's this melee with the guy that looked like you had just happened, and his boys come up to us and say, "Hey, this guy that looked like Brendan Allen and this guy that looked like Marvin Vittori got into a fight." And he says Marvin Vittori steps back and clocks him, and he said that a guy that looked like Brendan Allen got dropped. We're like, "Are you sure?" You're saying this is what you saw. They go, "Yes." Then we see a video that looks like the total opposite. Couldn't have been more. It looked like the guy that looked like you was got the better of the exchange. So we had bad info on site.
Yeah, bad info. I mean, from how I seen it, the guy who looked like me didn't even get touched. So
I
Good,
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really consider it too much of a fight though, because I don't know. Everyone broke it up first, so they should have just let the two fellas keep going. But it is what it is. Things happen.
Dana's tweet, Dana's tweet, or maybe it was a comment, was funny. He said it had to have been fight of the night because it was that.
Yeah, if he's giving out money for it, I'll take it though. I'll definitely take the money. I don't mind that at all.
um, about a month ago, you said you're no longer a fan of Robert Whittaker. Is there something that happened with Robert Whittaker, or is it just his fight style does not impress you as much anymore? Do you find yourself evolving in terms of guys that you like later into your career?
Maybe that's it, man. I don't know. Like I don't. At one point, he said like he didn't know who I was, but then the next week was talking about like my accolades or like what I've done or where I'm at in the division. So it's like, you know who I am. Just admit you didn't want to fight me. Like that's fine. You can say like, oh, he's not close enough to me in the rankings, or that's fine. I understand it, but don't say you don't know me. And then outside of that, like he's always, I don't know, like I understand his perspective of like keep pushing for a title, but I mean, I think he's beat what two guys that weren't even in the top five, and like now you're calling for a title shot against the champion that you've already had an opportunity to fight and you got finished. So I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I just kind of think it. I think he's a really good fighter. He has a great resume, but I just think it's time to kind of pass the torch a little bit for the guys that can be there for a while. Like I don't know. I just don't like the point of champions who are almost at the end of their career and they're just trying to get it one more crack to then retire. Like it kind of just holds the division up for guys that can potentially be champion for a long time and try to clear out the division like a champion should. But I don't know. That's just my personal beliefs. Yeah, I always thought of him as like the fighter's fighter. Like he'll fight anyone, no matter what. Doesn't matter if they call and offer it or someone says anything that's close enough to him. Then it's like he's gonna fight them. But when he did that, I just kind of lost respect for him. But still respect him as like a fighter. But I don't know. I just kind of think it's I don't know. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I just kind of think it's not his time anymore. It's maybe it's what you said. You know, like as I grow, like I feel it's my time or like a guy like me's time. But you never know. He's got a great resume. He was a great champion. He was the first. He was literally the main event of the first ever UFC I ever went to. So, um, yeah, it is what it is.
What are your thoughts on DDP? Obviously, his style is a bit unorthodox. Is he a guy that you look at and think, hey, if we get into a cage and we'll get into the cage one day, I feel like I match up very, very well against him.
Oh, of course. So he used to train at my gym, so I know a lot of guys that have trained with him, and I've seen him train. Personally, when I watch him fight, I don't think he's anything special, but he is good at making it a fight.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
going to be super technical, but he's going to make it a fight, and he can dig deep. And I respect those two attributes. But I think for me personally, like I can do those things too, but I'm also very technically sound, and I'm experienced. So I just think I just think I'm just a different guy than a lot of these guys. And when I show up and I'm my best and I'm fully prepared, I think the results have spoken for themselves, and I'm hoping to do and continue to do exactly that on Saturday night.
For a big fight like this, and I guess really all your fights, obviously every fight's a big fight. Are you like on Imavov? Are you how familiar with him before this? Like, are you watching film with your team? Like, what's like the process when it comes to game planning?
I do all the game plan myself. I know for me what I can exploit and what I can't based off of what I'm able to do, whether it's because I know myself or injuries or whatever the case may be. I know based off of what I'm watching what I can exploit and what I can't. Therefore, I do all the main game planning myself. I'll listen to friends and teammates, coaches have their input, but at the end of the day, I'll write down the final game plan and go over exactly that over and over. And I'll still continue to watch tape. I'll still watch tape on him to reaffirm that I've done the right things leading up to this fight and that the tactics that I've set to try to employ are gonna work. At least I expect them to work. So I'll still watch tape this week and try to build even more confidence and go on about it. But game plan is me.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you, Brendan, for the time. We appreciate it. We will be cheering you on Saturday night to bring a W back to America. And we appreciate the time. And everybody, please tune in Saturday night or Saturday afternoon in the States, but Saturday night if you're over in Europe or whatnot. But big fight, and we can't wait to watch you throw down in there. Thank you again,
Th-
Brendan.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
fellas. Appreciate you guys. Have a good evening.
You too.